We're gearing up for remarks from President Biden in just over an hour, where he will announce he's releasing 15 million barrels from the nation's strategic oil reserve.
That move, of course, is in response to the recent production cuts by OPEC, and it looks to combat the rising gas prices nationwide ahead of the midterm elections. Those remarks are set to start at 1:15 Eastern, and we will bring them to you live. Well, national average gas prices are nowhere near their summer peak. Prices did start to rise again after OPEC's announcement. The average price per gallon is now $3.85. You can see that that's 17 cents higher than a month ago. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe joins us now from the White House. Hey there, Ed. So this release completes a plan to take a total of 180 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. That actually brings it to its lowest level since the 1980s. How does the administration plan to account for those losses, and are they optimistic about the impact that it'll have for all of us at the pump?
Yeah, well, all good questions. Lana and Nikki, good to be with you. 40% of the petroleum reserves now basically wiped out by this decision. President Biden now becomes the president to have tapped it the most since it was established in the 1970s. They say the federal government will work to repurchase fuel for the reserves once prices hit somewhere between $67 and $72 a barrel. Right now, they're around 85. Whether it ever gets to that low point remains to be seen, but basically that's an attempt to drive the price down or incentivize it getting there, because the United States will then buy a big bunch of it to help replenish the reserves. The other thing he'll call for in his remarks in a little bit is asking oil companies essentially to help take out whatever additional costs they put on the price of a gallon of gas and say, pass on those earnings right now to people who need it because the price is so high. And listen for this too. While it's $3.85 now, up from $3.67, right? You've heard Biden administration officials, you'll probably hear the president point out that the price has come down in the last few weeks. It may have come down, but it's still up and higher than it has been, and certainly down from the summer peak as well. Either way, it's going up and down, and that's part of what this is designed to do. But as you pointed out, this is a continuation of something he addressed earlier this year. It's merely the finishing touch of an already announced policy change.
Yeah. I think we all just want to see those prices go down, down, down. Ed, as you all know, we're just about 3 weeks away from the election. How much do the midterms play into the president's decision to release this oil?
20 days and counting, Nikki. This guy counts. I don't know about the rest of you. And here's the thing. It has everything to do with that. The president may suggest otherwise today, but they look at the polling we do and others have done that suggests that the economy and inflation remain top of mind concerns for voters across the country. And he knows that Democrats will take it on the chin if the economy remains the central focus of these elections. He also knows that there is surveys done by us and others that suggest most Americans think he isn't doing enough to address the costs of the country right now, especially gas prices and others that are driven by gas prices. So while this may just be the finishing touch of something he'd already announced months ago and won't make any other real practical change, especially in the short term, it's designed to say here in the wake of the elections, as early voting is underway and with 20 days until Election Day, that he's trying to do what he can to use presidential power to drive down prices, as limited as that power can be when it comes to driving economic forces.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, that we are already in election season for a lot of voters out there. What about some of the other issues? Obviously, gas prices is a big part of the economic picture, but you also mentioned inflation and the president being held responsible for that. What about some of these other big issues?
Well, look at what he's discussing this week, for example. There's this announcement today. He's doing another event a little later this afternoon on the infrastructure bill, and reminding people that it was passed last year and is going to be generating billions in economic activity in the coming years, even if it's not doing it quite yet. There's this event to try to remind people he's done what he can to drive down gas prices. Yesterday, there was the conversation about abortion rights, which is a concern to Democratic base voters and has seen its importance drop in surveys when voters are asked what are the top issues of concern. You're also seeing him talk this week about the student loan forgiveness plan that he announced. Again, another move designed to generate enthusiasm and support among typical Democratic base voters, especially the young. You need the young, you need women, you need people distressed with the economy to get convinced to vote for Democrats if they want to hold on to Congress this year. Right now, polling suggests they're having trouble with that. And they know with people starting to cast ballots, it's very much on their mind. So he may not be out on the road campaigning, but he's using the powers of his presidency to say, here's what I've done, here's what Democrats can continue to do, if we get reelected to control the House and the Senate.
Ed O'Keefe, as always, thank you.